Welcome back to MT Divine Creations. Today I am working on making a sheet cover for this co-sleeper. It is a much needed item lately in here with us, and so I'm going to show you how I made this at home. Please feel free to share any tips that you may have, any ways that you found that are better and simpler. I look forward to hearing from you. And if you need this for yourself or for a family friend or just to gift, please stick around and stay with me. Stay tuned as I show you how I do this. So this is the little co-sleeper that I have, and this is the cushion I will be using and the material. So stick around to see how I'm gonna make the sheet for it. Okay, so I have my material ready, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut around it right here with the ruler. And what you kind of want is about, I want to do 6 inches all around of extra material. And the reason for that is so that it can kind of tug on it a little bit. And then I'm going to also add seam allowance, so I'll show you. But that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to go ahead and cut around and show you the rest of the process. Okay, so I went ahead and cut all around it, and I'm going to go ahead and get ready to start sewing. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a border, and then I'm going to go ahead and create a kind of like a pocket so that the elastic can go inside, and then it's just going to wrap around the cushion. The reason I'm doing this, and I could have used a serger, is so that this won't fray as much, because I'm gonna be using the elastic, and I just want to make sure that it's just a clean finish. But if you have a serger, I would recommend that one. I just didn't want to get mine out, and this works just as easily. If you don't have a serger, you honestly don't need it. So that's what I did one side. I'm going to do all 4 sides. Okay, now I've gone around all 4 sides, and it looks like here's the back of it and here's the front, and I just eyeball it. You can actually fold this one twice if you don't want to see that, but like I said, I'm still gonna go around and make a pocket so that my elastic can go right here. And because I am doing that, I didn't feel like I had to do the double folding and then sewing on top of that. But I am done, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started and show you how I make the little edging for the elastic to go through. Okay, so the way I'm doing this is I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it in a corner like that, because I want to have a nice round corner. Okay, so I went ahead and folded this, so you can see I folded that, and then this is going to be my starting place right here, right after the pin. And so I'm going to go ahead and leave this one out so I can pull. So I'll be pulling when I'm done. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start sewing around. And I'm doing it like this, where this is inside, because it'll be easier for me to pull, and I have plenty of elastic. If you want to do it a different way, like go ahead and just make the little edging pocket, if you want to do that, and then use like a crochet or a needle or a threaded needle to put it afterwards, you can do that. Or if you want to, as you're sewing, stretch this, then you can do that. If you do it that way, I would recommend that you measure your cushion, and then as it's gonna tug in, so you actually need a little bit less than the rectangle shape that you cut. So, and I'll talk a little bit more about that once I'm done, but just kind of showing you the just some ideas and different ways that you can do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and go around, and then I'll show you when I'm ready to finish it and how I'm gonna tie it and make sure that it's like snugly enough to just to stay in place. Now, because I am doing it this way, let me turn on the light so you can see. Because I am doing it this way, I have to be very careful when I'm sewing to see where I'm actually going to sew, so that I don't actually get my elastic caught in between, because then I won't be able to pull. That's good. So it's better for me to add a little extra than to have less. And you can actually feel it. You can feel the bump. You can feel that it's in there. So when I start doing this, I'm just going to be very careful, but that's just one tip that I can give you as you're doing that. Just kind of watch out for that, because once it gets caught, either you undo it or you pull more on one side. It's just not a good scenario. It's just better to avoid that. Okay, so now I'm coming towards the first corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fold this like this to make it go around. Okay, you see, I'm going to undo and then just kind of sew it like this to make sure it goes around. Sorry, let me see. Okay, so now I have both hands free. So I'm going to go ahead, as I sew, I'm going to go ahead and fold this over like this, because now I want it to come around. So it's just kind of making a little curve like that, and it will be inside, and then I will be ready to continue just folding over. You see, like so. Okay, and so I'm going to continue going around, and I'm kind of feeling it. Now, it's okay if you want to be safe, because remember, I had maybe like 4 to 6 inches to allow it to fold over. So I feel like I have plenty of room to not worry about making this too narrow. Okay, now I don't want to make it too wide, but I don't have to worry about making it too narrow. Okay, I'm going to go over, checking my work, making sure it's in there, trying to keep the measurement about the same, just kind of eyeballing it, and keep going. Okay, so as I was doing this, see, I was doing so good, and then look at what happened to me. You see, so guess what? I'm glad I caught it, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and undo this and get back on it and fix it, because I can't pull. Look, I'm trying to pull. I can't pull. Okay, and the purpose of me going through all this trouble of doing this like this is so I can pull so easily. So just be careful. I was trying to move my camera away so I can continue, and I just hit the pedal really fast with one hand, as I was using one hand to move the camera, and it went a little too fast that I couldn't control the fabric over here. And so that's what happened. So anyways, it's a quick fix, But I try to avoid those things because I don't want to have to undo and then redo. It just takes a little bit more time than it should, but it's better for me to have to do this the right way, so I can get this done. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. This is what I was talking about. Just be careful as you're doing it. Take your time. I guess for me, I should have just paused the machine, the sewing machine, and then moved my clip over, my camera over. But either way, I'm glad to show you this so that you know what I'm talking about and why it's important to keep an eye on what you're doing, and why it just will not, doesn't matter how much I pull, it's sewn over, so I can't move my elastic. I can't manipulate it. Okay, so I'm done doing it. And you see this was the part that was sewn over. It was just a little part. The rest was fine. See, it didn't. It was just this part that was caught in between somehow. Even though it looked worse. I thought it was worse than. It was just this little part. Okay. I thought it had taken the whole thing, but it didn't. So that's a good thing. But either way, the sewing machine comes with like a little tool that you can use. I just use some scissors really fast. But anyways, mine has it. Let me see if I can show you. Mine has like a little, right here, this comes off, and that's where all my little tools are at. But I didn't want to undo that. My sisters are right next to me, so I just did that. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and continue, and then I want to show you again how I'm doing my corners. Okay, now if you want to, there's different ways of doing this. You can get a needle and then just kind of like sew that around. You could do this, fold over, and then go like that and see how it just creates that. It's up to you, honestly, what you want to do, what's easier for you. So I'll do the fold over so you can see what that looks like. It really doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to see it. It's going to be under the cushion, and as long as it's all sewn over, it makes no difference. It serves its purpose and it works. Okay, so I'm coming towards my corner again, and I'm gonna go ahead and then just show you the fold over technique. Just fold over and sew over that, and then I can go ahead and fold this one. See? And then sew over that, and then I would be ready for the rest of it. Okay, again, I have to watch that my elastic's right here. I have to watch that I'm actually sewing around the edge and not over my elastic. Okay, but just another way of doing that. It's similar concept. You can use a thread and needle and make that, or when you're cutting, instead of cutting a rectangle, you can just cut a curve. It's up to you. Okay, so I just finished, and you can't see it because it's over here. I just finished my corner, and before I continue, I do have to check that I can pull my elastic. Okay, because if there's something I did, see, you see how it's working? If there's something I did to like sew over my elastic, then I need to fix that right away and undo it. But you see, it's working, so I'm happy. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you an update of my progress and kind of what I'm doing so far. So what I started doing is I started pulling. I am not done. I still have halfway, I think. Yeah, I've done half of it. Okay. But what I started doing is I started pulling it a little bit, okay? This is the right side, this is the back, okay? And the reason I started pulling is so I can make sure that it's gonna work. It's gonna pull, all of it's gonna pull. And also it helps me not use all of my elastic, although that's not, oops, that's not a problem because I have plenty. But that way, since I'm already done with this portion, I really don't need to have all that extra elastic hanging in there just because. And I don't need it to be straight anymore because I'm done. And so it serves a lot of purposes. I just like to do it this way. And just wanted to show you what I'm doing and what it looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and finish. Here's my little rounded corner. You see front and the back of where because I had to go back over it. Here's the other one, and it tucks beautifully. You see? It tucks beautifully. Anyways, I'll put it on the mattress so you can see. Okay. So I am coming towards the end of my work. See? I went ahead and went all around, and I'm towards the end of my work right now. And so that was the corner. I'm going to finish my corner, and then I'm going to go ahead and leave like maybe this big, maybe a hole this big, just so I can go ahead and tie the ends. I can't close it right now because I need to put this on the little cushion and see like how much elastic I need. Okay, now I could have measured the elastic ahead of time with the little cushion, but it's just, to me, this was easier without having to take an extra step. You can do that if you want to, and then just tie it right here. Okay, so this is where I am right now. And you see, oops, you see what I was telling you about not having to worry about making things, making an arc, round, or whatever. It just works beautifully. You see, I'm not done. This is what I left open. But this is what it looks like. And I was pulling the elastic as I was working. I prefer this method because I have, when I was younger, with my mom, I would like get either a needle or a crochet hook, and I will have to like put things like for shorts or skirts or things like that. I will have to put the elastic all over and then pull. So I remember that as a child, and I did not like doing that. Maybe because I was just a child, but this works for me. Please share if you have a better method that works better for you or that's easier. I'm all welcome to learning new techniques and ways of doing things. This is not my expertise. I like to do it. I'm passionate about it. But anyways, another tip I wanted to share with you before I continue is you can go buy the type of fabric that you want to do this project from the fabric store. Okay, this was a 100% cotton sheet that I had from a twin size bed my kids had when they were teens. They're still teens, but they switched from a twin size to a queen size, and obviously I can't use this anymore. It was never used, And so this is a great way for you to use things that you have already at the house. It's going to work perfectly. It's 100% cotton, so it works for what I'm doing. But anyways, and it's, like I said, never been used. Like, as you can tell, the fibers hasn't been washed. Just never. It's never been used. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Just go ahead and give it a first try, and then show you what that looks like. And then I want to also share the measurements that I have for this one. I don't know if they're all standard. I'm assuming that they are, like the co-sleepers. I'm assuming they're all standard size, but I'll share the measurements that I have in case you want to do it ahead of time if you're expecting, or you want to gift this, something like this to someone. You can go ahead and have the measurements. But I mean, it's up to you. I'm doing this because as we change baby, then sometimes babies, they're cold and they have accidents, and it's just best to have extras than just to have one. And I want ours to be customized. I like this pattern better than just the plain pattern, or it's just a personal choice. Okay, plus, like I said, I had the fabric, and my daughter loves this fabric. She actually used part of this was a set. So yeah, she actually used the other components, and so she has good memories of it. So this actually has emotional meaning, even though she didn't use this particular sheet. But it's just the bedding that came with it that is special for her, that she really liked. So anyways, this was her choosing. I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Before I try it on, I went ahead and took off the pin, because the cushion has plastic, and it actually, the pin poked me. I don't want it to damage this. Obviously, I don't want any holes. So I went ahead and just tied it. And honestly, when I did that, it looks like I don't even need I don't even need to finish it. Obviously, I will finish it. I will tie it and just sew it, seal it, and finish it. But even with that, just looks like it's already made. So anyways, okay, so here I went ahead and put it on, and this is what it looks like. I am really happy with the results and how pretty it looks. You can't really see the pattern very well, but it is beautiful. I love the colors. I'll try to see if I can take a better picture of the pattern. Anyways, this is what the back looks like. These are the corners, as you can see. Obviously, I need to pull it more. So I could have worked with this a little bit better if I wanted to, if I don't want to see that. But I will not be seeing this, so I am not concerned. This is where I'm going to go ahead and finish off. But if I want to do that, I can just sew here. Just sew here. But it doesn't affect the front. It doesn't affect the front of it. And baby will be all comfortable and will have extras. So I'm going to go ahead and finish it off, and stick around and join me next time where I show you how to make it with the arc round corners, so you're not seeing what I showed you, and it will be more arced, and I will use the sergers. So stick around if you want to see that one, if you prefer to do it that way. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Stay tuned. Okay, so it's time. Make sure I'm focusing. It's time to go ahead and tie. This is the way I double secure it. So I do a double knot, and then I'm going to sew right here, a couple of times back and forth, and then right here a couple of times back and forth, And then I'm going to put it right back inside and then close seal. Okay? Okay. You see, I went over it a couple of times. Doesn't have to be completely aligned. I just went over it. Not a couple of times, maybe 3-4 times, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, just to make sure it secures. The reason I do that is because even though this has a double knot, if it's tight and pulling with time, it may get undone just to secure it. It may be fine. But what I was doing is when I was doing the double knot, I was pulling both sides and it was sliding through. So that's why I did it. It's up to you. I've seen people just do double knots. Family members just did double knots and they were fine, no problems. But I just prefer to do that. And you see? Back and forth. Okay. Now I was able to pull the fabric through. I'm going to go ahead and sew over it and seal it. And to me, this is just the cleanest way to do this. It was just a smooth transition rather than the old way that I used to do when I was little. But I don't mind doing it that way. It's just, to me, this is just easier. I feel like I'm done when I'm done with the project. When I'm done sewing, I feel like I'm done. And I am done. I actually went over it, passed through it. After I was done, I just went past through it. But in order for you to just end it, you can go back and forth with the machine a couple of times and you'll be done. But thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again next time. Stay tuned for other projects that you can do at home. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned and I hope to see you again soon. Okay, now I said that I was going to share the measurements of the one that I have. And so here is my ruler and it starts right there. So about 24 inches by, if I can get this aligned properly, by maybe 13 inches. Oops. Yep, about 13 inches. And thickness, let me see, maybe about an inch. Yep, about an inch thick. So when I was doing it, I told you I kind of just measured it with my hand, but just about this much extra. It's up to you. As you notice on the video, you will have extra material left over. So I hope this helped you. Thank you so much again for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.